Welcome back to Money Train Fight Club episode 2. Shout out to the 4 viewers who watched the first episode. I say thank you. I got a haircut since the last episode. Sorry I didn't comb my hair. Pretty soon it'll be a green screen behind me and stuff will be showing up to the left, like the stock symbols that I'm talking about. So pretty much if you're just joining me, this is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. All this is me recording my thoughts to share with you on what I like and don't like in the stock market. Certain symbols I like. I've researched some of them. I'm here to share with you what I have figured out so far. So the way I got into it was because of the CARE Act. I was able to take money out of my 401k, and I did it without any penalty. Some of the money was already taxed. That was the money I decided to take out to invest in the stock market. I was originally using the Stash app, doing recurring withdrawals into the account. That was a way for me to not waste $20 a week. I would put the $20 a week towards something else. Actually, I was buying $40 a week or $25 a week, something like that, of Disney and Apple stock. It was just coming out of my account, going directly into Stash to buy portions of those shares. Well, I was done buying portions of shares. I wanted to buy full shares, so I made the jump to TD Ameritrade app. I use that as my brokerage service. Love the app, super easy. The fees are easy to understand. It's not they don't charge me anything to make all my trades, which is super cool too. I do a lot of trades. So if you're new to it, so am I. I've made a few $1,000s in the first 3 or 4 months in the stock market. Last week was a really big week. I actually turned close to $5,000 profit, and so I took some money out so I could put it towards my house. And basically, this has become a side job for me. I wake up every day before 8:30, before the market opens, and I go and check out the stocks and see how things are doing. I liquidate some of my assets and then buy other stuff that I think is going to have a good week. I read up on a bunch of different other people's opinions. So like Dave Portnoy, Barstool president, he's the main guy that I go read his stuff and see who he's supporting. Sometimes he's got stocks that I just can't really afford to get involved in, but I just still take it for what it is. Stan, the trading man, he is on Twitter also, and I found that Twitter is my favorite place to kind of investigate what's happening with the stock or what other people think about a stock. If you search $, type in the symbol, hit search, you'll find everyone who's tweeting about that particular stock. So a couple stocks that I guess I want to talk about early because I kind of have the background on them. One is Todos Medical. So Todos Medical is TOMDF stock symbol. Right now it's 9 cents. It's been fluctuating back and forth around, it got as low as 8 cents today. And basically my whole point is that it's super, 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 super cheap, right? 9 cents right now. Actually, as we speak, I'm buying another 5,000 shares. Currently, I own 40,000 shares. I was just having a hard time. It wasn't letting me buy my 5,000 shares at 8 cents like I wanted to originally. You might be thinking, Nick, why are you messing with a penny stock? How much money do you expect to make off a penny stock? Well, I have 45,000 shares of TOMDF. I've invested a little more than $4,000. At this point, I've lost $1,700 in value. You would normally say, Nick, you're absolutely crazy. What are you doing? Well, in the stock market, you got to be willing to lose a little bit to gain some. At least that's the philosophy I live by. Currently, TOMDF, Todos Medical. Who are they? What are they? They're a company out of Israel that does rapid COVID-19 tests. Got that? Rapid COVID-19 tests. They can get results instantly, just about. And so here's the deal about Todos. They're out of Israel, and this Israeli company originally was finding rapid tests for cancer detection and for Alzheimer's detection. And when COVID-19 happened, they decided to alter their path, and they started making these rapid COVID-19 tests. Well, Erin Austin, my coworker, is the one who showed me this stock that she found. She's like, look at this. You might be interested in it. Look how low it is. It's 9 cents. So I went in to look at it, started doing my research. Turned out that these COVID-19 tests are legit, and they are comparable to every other major COVID-19 test. Only these are pretty much instant. And so so the news that got me to buy it was that they had some deal with the Brazilian health department. Somebody in Brazil, someone in the health department, you can find the news if you look it up. And here, I could actually find it for you right now while I'm looking at it. It says Toto's Medical. Okay, where's it at? Da, da, da. So they do saliva-based on-site COVID-19 diagnostic tests. All this information came out back in early May, and basically there was a Brazilian. There it is. So Toto's announced ANVISA authorization in Brazil for 3D Med qPCR kits and is extraction S, whatever the hell that means. So I'm thinking those are the COVID-19 tests. If they've requested authorization in Brazil, one of the biggest countries in the world, with one of the worst pandemic problem of all the countries in the world. They've got COVID-19 really bad. They're sending their test to Brazil. That's going to cost a lot of money. That should drive up the price, in my opinion, of their stock. So then they expanded their management team the following weekend. This is where they hired like global strategists. They hired an advisory board who has experience in pharmaceutical sales, expediting, quick turnaround. They've got government relations, U.S. relations people that they've hired to handle government relations and international relations. So to me, this is all great signs. And then this morning, 8:04, they announced that their COVID-19 testing kit contract with New Jersey-based Best Supply Clinical Laboratory, a $1.4 million contract they just signed. That's the initial signing for these tests to get sent to New Jersey. So I believe that news is going to drive that price up. And I own 45,000 shares. I own 45,000 shares. So right now it's 9 cents a share. And it's got as high as 16 in the last month, and that was without even selling a COVID-19 test. What happens when they start turning these COVID-19 tests? Do they start selling them? 1.4 million for New Jersey, little tiny state like New Jersey? What happens when Texas wants it? Is that a $40 billion? And if that's the case, then TOMDF, Toto's Medical, should go through the roof. And the 45,000 shares that I own, if it gets up to, just to put in perspective, if you had 10,000 shares and it went up 1 cent, you'd make $300. So every 10 cents for 10 4, so 3, it's 1,200, 500. So about $1,700 per cent that the stock goes up, I should make. So let's hope it gets to 50 cents or $1 and we'll be rich. And then I'll be having gold chains or a bigger cross. This is a new cross my mom got me, by the way. Who knows what will happen though. Definitely be paying off the house a little sooner if this hits. Now, I want to keep going. NBR, this is Nabors Industries. There's an oil and gas company. There's somebody that I've believed in since I first got into the stock market, I should say, because it was like the first week of June, I believe, that they had this huge spike. And I got word that their business hadn't been suffering terribly. Like their actual businesses were still operating. They still had customers. They still had things to do. They weren't going under with the rest of the oil and gas company. So I bought in at $27 originally. And then I sold at 32 or 31 because I was so excited that I made so much money. And then it kept going up. So I bought more at $33. This was in June. It went all the way up to 83. I sold at 76, made a huge guap off of it, right? Well, it went all the way back down to 25 recently. I got in at like $27 or $25.85, something like that, with 400 shares, and I sold – or 300 shares, excuse me. I sold 150 of those shares last week and took the profit, and that's how I got out because I made $6,000 off of Nabors Industry alone. And so now I'm still in with 150 shares today. So when I rebought the shares, it came out to a price of $41.55, which obviously it's a little higher than the 27. I would love to be a little bit lower, but whatever. I took some of my profit. If that gets up to $80, then $40 times 150, another $4,000 could come through of NBR. And so another penny stock going back and forth here. This is TTCM. Now, basically, they have an app for retailers online. That's the best way I can explain the information I've gathered about TTCM. And TTCM is, again, the name of the company. Let me see if I can find that for you. The name of the company is Tadachrome Incorporated. And basically, they have something called Main Street for retailers. And I saw this on Stan, the Trading Man's feed. He was really excited about them for some reason. And it was less than a penny. It was literally 0.09. 0.009. So it wasn't even a full cent when I saw it. So I went ahead and bought 30,000 shares for $300. And what do you know? Today, it made it past a penny, and I've made $61 this morning just off of TTCM. So if I sold it all right now, I'd make 61 bucks. With 30,000 shares, using the TOMDF mindset, we're trying to get that up to 40, 30 cents, 40 cents. If it gets to 20 cents, I'll probably get out of there because, I mean, shit, if it gets to 15 cents, I might get out of there because I'd make so much, in such a short period of time. So the last one I want to talk about, because my goal is not to sit here for like 45 minutes. I just want to make them, actually I got two more. So this might go another 10 minutes. So UAVS, this is the big one. Now, part of my soul and my heart wants me to sell almost everything and dump it into UAVS. That's how much I believe in UAVS. Why do I believe in UAVS? I may have mentioned this in the last podcast. I should probably keep notes about what I'm talking about in each one. Maybe I'll just edit the name of the video here in a second. So UAVS, Ag Eagle, right? Ag Eagle Services. They are a drone service out of Wichita, Kansas. They got nationwide business. So why all of a sudden would they be important? Well, they're believed to be the new drone service for Amazon. Amazon hasn't confirmed this. Ag Eagle hasn't confirmed this, but lots of internet sleuths have been looking around and really starting to put the pieces together that UAVS is, in fact, Amazon's new drone delivery service system, meaning that they should get a very handsome contract from the most expensive company in the world, Amazon. And if that happens, their stock, which is right now at $3.14, up 4 cents since I bought it at $3.02, up 4% since I bought it at $3.02. I have 1,200 shares, and honestly, I got a feeling that real soon Amazon and UAVS are going to make a huge announcement, and I could see that stock really going through the roof. I really don't have a mark on it. Once it starts to rise, I'm going to look and see what other stock investors are believing is their mark to sell. I mean, it's really, really hard to determine because it's such a new business. I personally think that $5 would be really cool. But $10 could be amazing. But I have 1,200 shares. So, what's the worst or best it could do? If it goes up to $4, I make $1,200. If it goes up to $5, I make $2,400, which is fine. I mean, money is money. But then I would get out, because I'm not really in for the long haul in a lot of these different stocks. I'm more on the short end. I don't necessarily like to short stocks, but I have before. But I'm not doing any options this week. I have no options set. I sold my NEO shares. And then, so basically, I'm just really kind of counting on all these stocks that I'm trading to go up. And then if they do so, I'll liquidate them with the profit, hopefully take home some more money. I would really like to see a couple of these really blow up so that I could take down another 1,000 or 2,000 this week. That would be really, really, really awesome. But I'm also fine with just making a few hundred and leaving it at that. So the final stock that I'll leave you with is one that I can't seem to get away from. I've lost money on this stock multiple times in the last 2 months. More money off of this stock than I would like to admit. XSPA, Express Spa. They're now Express Check. So if you ever went to the airport here in Houston, if you went to, and they had like 27 airports around the world where they had these express spas where you could stop in, get your back rubbed, get a facial, kind of relax before your flight, a way to unwind. And they sold these services at airports. Well, obviously, airports took quite the hit recently. So what does that mean? Well, that means that the airports aren't going to be making a lot of money, aren't going to be a lot of customers. So Express Spa was getting ready to take a hit. But they hired a former person from the C-suite, like a CEO or CFO or something like that from Starbucks. He came in to join the company back in March or April. Well, they have now parlayed their business that was was Express Spa into Express Check. So Express Check is now a way that they are testing all of their COVID-19, or they're testing all their employees at the airport. They ran the beta testing, or the rollout plan was at JFK Airport here in Houston, where they tested it out and it worked. Now they're ready to parlay that into testing passengers to make sure they're safe. So Express Check has turned itself into a place where they are now the front line at an airport against COVID-19. And then they're going to expand the testing to beyond COVID-19 testing, where they can be in the airport to make sure that passengers, employees, pilots, stewardess, everyone is safe. And this is going to become a regular checking system at airports. I really believe it could happen like that. Express Spa on Friday afternoon, the CEO went on to Fox Business or something, said that the rollout was successful, pure success. They plan to reopen these express checks in airports everywhere. They're hoping to start doing passengers. If that means that they're going to start signing contracts with more airports, then that stock is going to go up major. I was originally on it when it was way down in the tank, below $1, and it went way up. I lost a lot of money waiting for it to go up, and then finally got in after they did a giant reverse split, and turned out I still lost money. So my $1,000 shares, my 1,000 shares, I bought at about $297 on a hunch Thursday or Friday, and then the news came. The guy went on TV, and it jumped to $3.14. Well, the amount that I've lost and the amount that I've recently bought readjust on the TD Ameritrade app, and it comes out to I'm down $1,900 on XSPA. Not proud of that. However, I've made that $1,900 back, and that is only, I believe it's only showing me that I've taken that loss because in a lifetime I've lost that much off of XSPA. But right now, being that I've gained 30 some odd cents, my original $1,000 or 1,000 shares I bought at $297 have gone up. So I needed to get all the way to 5 or past 5 to earn the money back I lost. Now, just to see that number, that negative 1,900 number decrease, like if it gets to like negative 500, then technically I made $1,400 more off that, and I can get out of there, minimize that loss, and actually take some more money home. So Money Train Fight Club. Follow me on Twitter at King Nick Russo, on Instagram. Feel free to reach out. I'd love to discuss and talk to you about the stocks and how I feel about different stuff. But remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a regular old guy who just has always believed he's as smart as everyone in the room. And so I've come to the conclusion that just because people are on Wall Street, just because they've taken college courses in finance and business, and just because they make a living, doesn't mean that they're inherently smarter than you and I. We are just as smart as anybody else. And so all the same information that is available to all the greatest stock market brokers in the world is available to us. We just have to take the time to go find it and research it and look at it. Like TOMDF. A lot of people haven't looked into it, but I did. So if I make money off that, then I make money off that. My 45,000 shares gets to $1. Guess what? You heard it. You already know. If it gets to $1, then I make $45,000. That's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to pay off the house by playing the stock market, and that's the game I'm in. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a regular old dude who took some money out of his 401k, happened to make some money in a few months, and so I decided to start this podcast, this video session. If you have a stock that you're interested in, have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comments section. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your afternoon. May the week be in our favor.